Aloha, everybody, and welcome to another Treetop Talk here at the sweet spot on the big island of Hawaii. It's Christmas Eve. The duck is fed, the cat is fed, and now it's time to feed your head. The other night I was visiting a friend, and they're the kind of people who put up those holiday decorations for Easter, St. Patrick's Day, Halloween, Thanksgiving, and others I can't remember. Guy Fawkes Day, International Donut Day, National Greasy Spoon Diner Day. So, anyways, it's Christmas time, and they have out their nativity scene set up in their home. It was really very nice. Now, being Jewish, we call the Christmas tree the Hanukkah bush, so we kind of went both ways, lighting the candles on the menorah, which was the only other time I'd ever seen that many candles all at once, same on somebody's birthday cake, and lighting the lights on the evergreen. I really think my parents went for the Christmas thing, because with Hanukkah, you're supposed to get a gift every night for 8 nights. And like the spendthrifts they were, this was a way to save money. You know, only one day to have to be with the family instead of 8 nights. But I'm digressing like a guest drunk on eggnog. So I'm looking at this nativity scene and thinking to myself about the story of the Star of Bethlehem and the 3 wise guys. No, not those. No, not those either. No, good grief, not those either. Yes, those wise guys who apparently had some knowledge about astronomy, as this was the golden age of Islam, and they got the naming rights to a lot of stars we know today. I mean, scholars have identified 210 visible stars that carry Arabic names, some of which preserve older names that date all the way back to Babylon and Sumeria. Now, I would bet with certainty that some of those you watching don't even know the name of our own neighborhood star, let alone half a dozen others. Okay, you know the name Beetlejuice, mainly because they made a movie out of it. Oh, right, and the Star of Bethlehem. So that's 2, a 100% increase in your knowledge. So, back to the 3 wise guys who show up at a barn. Now, they have gifts for the child king, as if a newborn baby is going to have need for gold, frankincense, and myrrh. You know, maybe a nice rattle, teething ring, clean diapers would have been more age appropriate. So they're going to walk into this barn to find a newborn in a manger. And a manger, by the way, is the trough. That's a trough where they put food for animals. And you're thinking to yourself, wow, you learn something new every day. To which I reply, only if you're paying attention. Now, one of the wise guys is black, and the other 2 must have told him, look, we don't know what the policies are here, but let's check to see first if they allow people of color in. To which Balthasar, the black dude, says, good Lord, it's a barn for heaven's sakes. To which Caspar, who you know has got to be as white as a ghost, says, that is why we are here, to see our good Lord that heaven has sent for our sake. Melchior, the wise guy who brought the gold, says, don't worry about it. I'll tip the maitre d'. They'll let you in. So, as soon as they walk into this barn full of animals, one of them says to the other, you know when you said you were bringing Frankenstein? And the other wise guy says, that's sense. Frankincense, you idiot. That you ever graduated from wise guy school is a miracle. Well, speaking of miracles, when you first said that you were bringing Frankenstein sense, I thought you were anything but wise. But the smell in this place, all I can say is good call. But I'm still not sure what the purpose is of the myrrh. And the other wise guy says myrrh. It's used for indigestion, ulcers, colds, coughs, asthma, lung congestion, arthritis pain, cancer, leprosy, spasm, and syphilis. It's also used as a stimulant and to increase menstrual flow, which is not clear whether Mary had any menstrual flow, given this was a virgin birth. But hey, this barn is anything but antiseptic, and myrrh is also used as mouthwash, gargles, and toothpastes. The other one says, is there a conflict of interest here? I mean, do you hold stock or any position in a myrrh company? This place has no running water. How are they going to brush their teeth? Now, the 3 gifts had spiritual meaning. Gold as a symbol of kingship on earth. And still, to this day, the golden rule applies. Those who have the gold make the rules. Frankincense is an incense, a symbol of the deity, and myrrh is an embalming oil as a symbol of death. If they were wise guys, you would think bringing embalming oil to a birth is a pretty tone-deaf gift. So the three wise guys come into the barn and they see this newborn child in a manger full of hay, and one of them says under his breath, "How come she's not holding her baby? Why is she just letting him be in that bed of hay instead of next to her warm, nurturing breast? Jesus, is that any way to treat a newborn? Don't take his name in vain. Isn't that his name, Jesus? It's her first child. Maybe she's not clear on her role. Who's the guy next to her? Well, that's her husband, Joseph. They're husband and wife. Yes. And she's telling him it was a virgin birth. Is he impotent or something? Is that why the myrrh was for? I mean, to help him with his ED? Maybe she didn't want to tell her husband that there was somebody before him. Well, at this point in the story, there are some things that don't track. Here are three wise guys who show up with two types of incense and gold. At that point, if they were so wise, why didn't they tell Mary and Joseph, "Hey, grab your kid. We found you a much nicer place to stay tonight"? And Joseph says, "We have tried, but the inn was full." Is there a convention in town or something? Mary responds, "There's no room in the inn." Is the beginning of the fulfillment of the prophecy found in Isaiah 53, which says that the Messiah would be despised and rejected by men, and man of sorrows and familiar with suffering. To which somebody says, "Quiet, woman, can't you see that men are speaking?" Because, that's what it was like back then for women. I mean, even today. One of the wise guys says, the book of Isaiah was written by King Hezekiah, who reigned from 715 to 686 BCE, like over 650 years ago. And today is what? What's today's date? Oh, I have somewhere between 6 and 4 BC, but not to worry because the birth date of Jesus of Nazareth by way of Bethlehem isn't stated in any of the Gospels or secular texts, so we're off the hook on that one. That's good, because I don't think any of us remember to bring a birthday card. I mean, it is his birthday, right? Shouldn't we have brought a cake? Because they look hungry. Isn't it tradition to bring a new mom casseroles and prepared food so she doesn't have to cook? And one of the wise guys says, "Girl, didn't anybody give you a baby shower? I mean, where are your girlfriends, girlfriend? I mean, they could have loaded you up with a high chair, stroller, stuffed toys, one of those bouncer things, some baby clothes. For Pete's sakes, a crib, so this newborn isn't sleeping on hay. I mean, you know how itchy that is." The other wise guy says, "Who's Pete?" And the other wise guy says, "We have this gold to give you, but there's nothing open at this time of night. Otherwise, we would have gotten a bassinet, changing table, swaddling blankets, something like that." And the other wise guy says, "I told you we should have done all the shopping on Black Friday." Balthasar gives them a look. We don't know how long they stayed, or if they just saddled up and headed home. Clearly, Mary and Joseph were unable to host them, and the most they could provide was this newborn who is the promise for the new world, which is why we say Jesus saves, Moses invests, and Bhagwan spends. So whether we know it or not, this time of year, we're all following the example of Bhagwan Sri Rajneesh and spending our money instead of sharing our hearts. I mean, the only way you're going to buy happiness is to spend time. And if any of us think money's going to buy us happiness, it's always going to cost us a little bit more than we have. But if you have clean water, that's a gift. If you have no hunger, that's a gift. If you have a roof over your head, that's a gift. If you have a family that's near and dear, that's a gift. If you have survived this long, that's a gift. If all of your fingers work, if you can see the colors on a tree, if you can smell the food in the oven, if you can taste what's on your spoon or on your fork, if you still have hair on your head. If you don't have hair, be grateful that you have a head and hair elsewhere. That's a gift. If you can walk, that's a gift. If you can drive, that's a gift. If you can operate your remote control, or if your team wins, or even if you have a team, that's a gift. If you have clean clothes, that's a gift. If you have the ability to speak, if you can hear music, if you have enough wrapping paper and scotch tape, that's a gift. If you remember the good times and can still wish for good times, that's a gift. Because all we have is now. And the rest is speculation. In this time, wishing all of you the joy of the season, and to all a good night. Merry Christmas, everybody.